Hi and welcome to week 6 of the Summer Stitch Sampler Knit Along. This week we are working on linen stitch and I've got a swatch ready to show you guys how to work it. It is a 2-row 2-stitch repeat, and for the swatch and the project we're using 2 rows of stockinette at the beginning and end, and 2 stitches of stockinette at the beginning and end of each row. There you go. So I've already done the first portion and I'm going to show you how to change colors. All of the 2-row repeats are the same, so whether you're changing colors or not, you'll be doing the same process. But right now I'm using watermelon and the other color I have is lavender blue. You can also do this entire section in one color if you want, but I do think that the change looks really nice. If you think so too, you could incorporate some additional changes, but that of course is up to you. Okay, so again with my needles that I've been complaining about. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to knit those 2 edge stitches, but since I'm changing colors, I'm going to do it with the lavender blue. Let me leave a good tail. All right. So there we go, knitting 2. So now we're into the linen stitch, the actual pattern, and as you can see it's pretty dense, so you may find that you're getting a little bit of pulling from the slip stitches. If that's the case, go up a needle size. You can always swatch before you work on your project, so you don't have to worry about ripping too far back. The first row of the pattern, we're going to slip one with our yarn in front. So yarn in front, and we're going to slip it purlwise, just like that. Then we're going to put our yarn back, and we're going to knit a stitch. So essentially you're wrapping this stitch as you go. So slip one purlwise with yarn in front, put the yarn back and knit one normally, and you're going to do this all the way across. And I'm using a 24 stitch swatch like I've normally used in past weeks, so that's enough to kind of help you learn the pattern, and also it works out with the repeats that we're using. Okay, and so for my last 2 stitches I'm again going to knit those. Okay. So this is what I think is so pretty, that the color change right here where they're kind of interwoven. Alright, so for row 2, going to continue with the same color. The first 2 stitches are purled because, as I said, those 2 stitches on either end are going to be stockinette. So since we're on the wrong side, we're going to purl those. So 2 purls. And then for this row, what we're going to do is we're going to put our yarn in the back, we're going to slip one, and then we're going to bring it back where it belongs and purl one. So back slip, front purl, back slip, front purl, all the way down. And we are slipping purlwise. Well, there we go. Someone in our Facebook group mentioned this stitch last week when we were talking about what stitches would be good for a nice dense project, like the plaited basket stitch. Someone mentioned this stitch would be good for something like pot holders or placemats as well because it is so dense. And that's actually a great suggestion. So I finished with 2 pearls, and as you can see, this is the result. So it does kind of look like linen, the way that linen is woven. Yeah, with a little sort of warp and weft that you can see there. So that's how you work the linen stitch. If you have any questions, you can leave them below or ask them in our Facebook group. I'll include a link to that, and then the written instructions will be on the post that is associated with this particular stitch for week 6. I'll include that link in the notes below as well.